Hi, Sean.
Hi, Jack.
How are you?
Exhausted. Really, really bad today. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, why's that?
Just Wilder was up at, I don't know, 3,
Oh.
4.
Oh dear. Okay, right.
All over the place.
Right.
But
She's okay though. She's not unwell. She's just
no.
excited.
She's just 2. Mildred was sick in the night as well.
Oh.
Saw a bit of grass there.
Okay.
At the grass.
Yeah.
So not
How's Casper doing? I mean, we might as well finish off with.
Oh, Casper, yes.
Yeah.
Casper, yeah, good. Everyone's good. Just Wilder's at that point where she's waking up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
So I put into practice. Do you remember Simon said, and I know I'm going to do a day with Simon, our dog expert, about calming Mildred down when there's lots of wheels and stuff like that on the high street. But he did mention about how perhaps Wilder was scared and actually she didn't know what to do, and it was the barking that seemed to work, and to just try and relax her. So I've been putting that into practice, and I think it's going to take a while, but I can understand it, and you can see it's the beginnings of something that's going to improve. So instead, when she starts barking, I get her to sit and I stroke her and try and relax her, and I can see that this is, hopefully, fingers crossed, this is going to work.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wonder, because sometimes they say, you immerse them into it slowly, so you get used to them in little doses of it, a thing, in particular with Mildred and wheels. I wonder if the opposite would work. I don't mean this as a joke, but have you thought of taking her to see the London Eye? And because that's obviously the biggest wheel there is, and it goes round so slowly, it takes half an hour to go all the way around, right? And then maybe after that, a Ferris wheel at a fun fair. And so that she just kind of thinks, okay, yeah, I'm getting the bigger picture now. I think I'm understanding. And then just bring them down. Maybe then go to a big construction site, see sort of, those tipper trucks with huge wheels.
So lovely of you to offer to take her out on that day. I really appreciate that, Jack. So thoughtful of you.
And the wheels just get smaller until they become a roundabout.
Just get smaller and smaller, and then until eventually it's and she'll just kind of calm down with it. And think, I get it now. I get it. The whole round thing, wheels.
Well, Well, maybe that's what me and Simon will do on our day.
You might do,
on Dog Behaviourist Day.
Well, you heard it here first, and if it works, I'd like some credit, at least.
Oh, you've got it. Don't worry about that. What about you? Go on.
What I was going to say, Juniper. How's
yes, exactly. Yeah.
How about Juniper? Video round of some crunchy things. Did you make them for Juniper?
I did, because of our guest today, the dog nutritionist, and he did this recipe for chicken jerky, and I thought I'll just give that a try. And she was munching away on that. She really enjoyed that.
Loving it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's lovely. I really enjoy her. It's funny, isn't it? Because we don't mind our dogs making those noises.
No.
If it was Darren, I would be going mad.
Yeah.
But it's so cute.
Well, Seann, you're very particular about hearing people eating, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Are you okay if it's Mildred, though?
Yep.
You are? Okay, so you don't need music playing in the background?
No, I don't think I do. No, it's just people. Infuriating.
For those who might not have been listening when we did our Crufts show, we discovered Seann's peculiarity when we were all wanted to... We were all sitting in this little room for having a break for lunch and sandwiches, and Seann just got his phone out and started playing some hip hop or something while we were chatting, and I think we all thought, oh well, okay, whatever. He's obviously young, he knows what he's doing. And only later did you admit that this is because he didn't want to hear us all eating.
Yes. Yeah. Do you remember when I was at Grace's parents for a couple of months?
Yes, you said, yeah.
Poor people had to feel the force of that, which was we couldn't eat, so everyone would like kind of start, and then I would have to go. Sorry, can we put the music on?
Okay, so
I didn't know how to use because they're the record player, so I didn't know how to use it. So poor Grace's dad Steve had to every day get up, put the music on for me so that I could then join the table.
Well, but I mean, I suppose at least you were open about it. If you just said, "Look, it's a phobia. It's my problem," is that how you introduced it?
How do I explain it? Sorry, I can't handle the sound of people. What's it called? I forgot. It's got a name.
Yeah.
Does anyone remember the name?
I can't.
I might look it up.
The sound of people eating. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Precisely that.
Yeah. Enjoyment phobia. It's called. I think. Happiness phobia. You just can't stand people around you being happy and having a good time. Sorry, everyone, I can't cope.
That's it. It makes me feel sick.
But it's interesting that you don't mind if it's Mildred.
Don't mind if it's Mildred. But Mildred, it's only a couple of minutes anyway. You know, and it's done. It's all good.
And the only person that's actually eaten on this podcast is you, Seann. So I don't know why
I
know. I apologise.
That in. It's called misophonia.
Misophonia.
Yeah.
That's it. Yes.
Okay.
There you go. No, I don't mind Mildred eating. Yesterday we invested in a new car, and we had like a family car, and we got we got the car salesman, and he's a very nice man, and his name was Irfan, and I think Irfan will now be listening because he said that he might recognise me, and I came clean with what I did. As a profession. And then he mentioned another comedian. He said, I'll tell you which comedian I love.
Uh-oh.
Just always music to
either
my
way,
ears.
it's not going to be good for you. It's going to be either way, because if it's someone you hate, then that's a bad, forget it. You know what? I've changed my mind about this car. Or if it's someone that you really like, it'd be, forget it. I think I'll get a Volvo.
Well, he said, I think he described this man as a dark comedian, like does dark
Where's
stuff.
this going?
Yeah, no. And then he said, he did the John Smith's adverts. Did you used to do?
Yeah.
Jack, did you?
Yeah. That's why I'm sitting in a house. Oh yeah.
Oh, what was the thing you used to get heckled with?
Widgets.
That's it.
People say, didn't it bother you? I was like, I couldn't care less.
So, yes. So I said, Jack D, and he said, that's the one, Jack D. So there you are. You're his favourite comedian, and he thinks that you're like a dark and edgy comedian.
Does he? Oh, yeah. I better up my game, I think. Yeah.
Has he seen T on tour?
No doubt he'll be tuning in very soon. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah, it's tough stuff, T on tour.
But he sold me a car, and I sold him a podcast.
Well done.
Quid pro quo.
Okay.
But he told, I said, I'm going to tell this on the podcast. He then told me about he had a staff that's sadly no longer with us. Max lived till he was 17. And Irfan gave this example of how clever he thought dogs were, and they had an intuition for something. He told this story that Max lived with Irfan's parents, and they were Punjabi, so they would pray. They would wake up at 5 a.m. to pray, and they would go into their living room and pray. And now Max wasn't a well-trained dog, been all over the place, running around, would go where he wanted. But in those 17 years, he never entered the prayer room when they were praying, and this was not taught.
Yeah,
and he would sit outside of the room whilst they prayed. And as soon as they had finished praying, and it wasn't as soon as they'd left the room, it was specifically as soon as they finished praying, he would wander off back into the garden.
That's extraordinary.
Yeah, and he said and it's funny, we're talking to a nutritionist today, actually. But I forgot about that when he was telling me this. Is that 17 years is good going.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a staff. And he said that when people tell you how your dog has to be careful with what they eat, Max, although he also had his dog food, he just ate curries and all of this Punjabi food for 17 years. And in those 17 years, he went to the vets once, and that was to get his, his jabs at the very beginning, and to sadly at the end.
That's incredible.
And that was it.
Wow.
And never went to the vets in between, and was a completely healthy dog on a diet of Indian cuisine or Punjabi cuisine. So, yeah, I thought that was really interesting. I wanted to share that, and just wanted to. I thought it would be a great thing to hear from our listeners if you guys have any kind of story like that where your dog has a kind of strange intuition for something that's not really been, trained, discussed, if you will, with your dog. And if you can tell that to us, send in a voice note or email us. At hello at omdpod.com.
Hello at omdpod.com. Yes. Yeah. You know that I'm half Punjabi. My mum's a Sikh, so I grew up on that same diet. And there's a lot of turmeric in it, and apparently that's the nature's healer. So it could have been that was really helpful to
say
to
turmeric
their dog.
is the big thing, isn't it? Yeah. Wow. Well, there you go.
I need to get some turmeric. I desperately need some turmeric.
Yes, I'm sure that'll sort you out. So we've got an interesting email because we've been talking about dog treats and bones, and actually we're just talking about that again this morning, really. But this was from Gemma Butterworth, and she says, "Hi, Sara, Jack, and Seann. I've just listened to the latest episode."
Just notice the order of those names. That didn't get by me.
Well, let me tell you, your names weren't even on it, so I added them.
Okay.
Oh, we're being infiltrated from the inside.
This is how it's going, isn't it? This is how it's going. She says, I've just listened to the latest episode. Fab as always. In regards to bones for dogs, Jack was right about splintering. Cooked bones will splinter, so dogs can't have any that are cooked. They can have them raw, though. They're perfectly safe. Weight-bearing bones of large animals aren't advised as they're too hard and can chip their teeth, but they can be fine for smaller dogs to nibble on and pull meat off. But big dogs are best not to have them. Mine love chicken wings. Also, if I see someone's dog doing a poo and they don't pick it up, I just ask them if they need a bag, and they usually get the message. Love, Gemma Butterworth with Lola and Neo, the Japanese Shiba Inus, I think that Shiba Inus, I think you'd call that, and Bono the Papillon. And so, thank you so much for that, Gemma. I didn't know that, and we can. Oh, lovely, yeah.
Oh wow! What a lovely photo.
Sadly, the one in the middle is Tilly, who passed away last year.
Yes.
So that's a lovely photo.
Yeah,
gorgeous. Lovely Papillon there, Bono. Great. Well, I didn't know that about that, and I don't know about chicken wings. I don't know if I'd dare to give my dogs that, but with a bigger dog, I suppose maybe that is right that they can take. Obviously, our guest today will be able to confirm a lot of this for us.
Yes.
So let's should we move on to that?
Yes, Cam Wimble, who is a certified canine nutritionist, author, and educator. He's the founder of The Dog Nutritionist, where he creates tailored feeding plans, breed-specific recipes, and science-backed supplements to help dogs thrive. From probiotic chews to venison treat boosts, Cam's mission is to get dogs off ultra-processed food and onto real, natural meals. So we're delighted he's joining us now. It's Cam Wimble.
How are you doing, Cam?
All good. How are you all?
Cam, we're just interested to hear from you because we had one of your clients the other day, Tash, with Vinny, who you might remember. I read an article about her in the newspaper and sent it to Sara. Sara very cleverly got her on the show very quickly. And then we thought, of course, we heard all about you through this. So you are the dog nutritionist. Can you tell us just basically...
The dog nutritionist.
Yeah, exactly. You are. How has this all started and what is it that you do?
I mean, it started 7 years ago. I had a dog running business in London where we took dogs, basically big or slightly mad dogs running.
Mm-hmm.
And it stemmed from that because being someone that takes care of dogs as a profession, naturally you get asked what's the best thing to do here? What's the best thing to do there?
Yes.
And it just quickly became apparent that dog owners weren't getting the information they needed to keep their dogs in the health that they wanted them to be at. The information that's generally provided to dog owners, I think, around natural healthcare methods, what is the best lifestyle for certain breeds, I think it's actually quite hard to come by. And then often you get these dogs that are kind of trapped in this spiral of ill health. So I couldn't run dogs for the rest of my life, as fun as it was when I was a younger man. And retrained as a dog nutritionist, got a diploma, and basically started helping owners fix their dogs' poo problems.
Right. Okay. So, what are the symptoms first of all of a dog that is not having the right food and right nutrition? What generally are the symptoms?
There's quite a vast amount, to be honest. It's obviously that you've got the more clear ones, which are stool problems, looser stools. Maybe the stools could be like large and smelly, too frequent, wrong color. So there's quite a lot that you can tell just from a dog's stools. And as dog owners, it's probably the most regular indicator that we look at, to be honest. We're always picking up our dog's poo. So there's the poos, and then there's like ear infections, itchiness, yeast problems, obesity, the list kind of goes on.
Okay. So, and then how would you begin to address that? Do you, first of all, I guess you look at their diet, at their current diet? Yeah.
The first thing you do is you assume that there's something within the dog's lifestyle and environment that's causing the health issue. I think a big problem with current healthcare methods is they don't see lifestyle and environment as a factor in or a driving cause of ill health. Whereas if you look at more holistic medicine, it's the first thing that you would do is try and identify where things are going wrong. And quite a lot of the diets that are on offer to dogs aren't the easiest thing for a dog in general to digest. And then they aren't made specifically for the individual dog. So you've got two kind of issues going on with mainstream pet foods, is that they are not natural, a lot of them, and they are not designed for the individual dog. So you look at the lifestyle and then figure out a diet that works for the individual dog.
So Cam, when people use that phrase, I wouldn't feed that to my dog, are you essentially saying that about dog food?
About a lot of dog foods, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of dog food.
There's a lot of dog foods I wouldn't feed to my dog.
That's really interesting. How have we, maybe this is too a bigger question, but how have we ended up in a place where, there's a lot of dog food out there. It's targeted at dogs. Obviously, dogs are the demographic, and you, a nutritionist, is saying you should not feed that to your dogs. How have we ended up here?
So it stems from dog owners being one of the easiest markets to exploit, because we have a responsibility to this animal that we love, yet don't fully understand. So what we do is we put our trust elsewhere. We look for certain solutions based on cost or based on a certain experience that someone might have. And you just end up doing what they say. And this has basically led the big pet food companies to just be kind of like marketing geniuses. You put veterinary approved, you make a nice pouch, you set the price at something reassuringly expensive, and you just put natural on the front cover, chicken, and a dog owner will go, oh, the way in which dog food companies will market the products will be deceptive in a way. So just by putting veterinary approved, a dog owner might think that it's a healthy food. They can label the food as chicken on the front, but it only needs to contain 4% chicken.
Wow.
Generally, the ingredients that they put into dog foods are pretty low quality, filler ingredients, a lot of synthetic vitamins and minerals. So you might see complete dog food, but the way in which they fulfill the nutritional requirements required to label the food complete will be through a load of synthetic vitamins and minerals, which they've cooked at extremely high temperatures. So there's a lot of dangerous dog foods, out there, basically.
Dangerous dog foods, really. Wow. So what do we look for? What should we look for when choosing a dog food?
It just needs to be a fresh food. So we as dog owners push towards these convenience foods, ones that can sit in the cupboard for a year without refrigeration.
Yes.
And much, like Jamie Oliver was banging on the school kitchens, being like, kids need fresh whole foods. They're getting fat. They're going to get all these issues. It's going to prevent them learning properly like they should. Their attention spans are going to be shorter by eating all this crap. Same thing with dogs, right? There was this study within human nutrition science that highlighted a 10% increase in the consumption of processed foods led to the equivalent increase in the probability of cancer. And dogs are being fed processed foods at a rate far higher than humans, and they're the only species on Earth that gets cancer more than we do. So
that's a fascinating statistic and a marker, isn't it, to observe that actually the one thing in common is processed food. So, and they eat an awful lot more of it than we do as humans, and that's staggering. Yeah. So, are you advocating to cook for your dog fresh food and cook it yourself?
I mean, you can cook for your dog. There are companies that you can buy freshly cooked food. It's really expensive.
Yeah.
So I do just try and encourage owners to understand some basic principles around feeding a dog. So it needs more meat. It evolved from a carnivore. It's adapted genetically since the domestication started, but not a huge amount. Therefore, they just need some meat, occasional organ meat, a calcium source, and a mixture of fruit and veggies, and the dog will be perfectly healthy, or at least supported entirely through their nutrition.
It's fascinating to hear you say that, because we've had a couple of guests I can remember. Fiona Allen was a guest
I was thinking of Fiona,
a while ago, who cooks for her dog, and I think was even talking about coming up with a recipe book. And I remember thinking, she's obviously a bit nuts, really, and thinking, that's over the top. I'm not saying
she was that before many a times by people on the internet too. So.
Okay. I mean, is there a recipe book out there that we can get hold of and look at?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a recipe. It's an ebook on my website.
Okay. Which,
It makes the whole thing really simple, which is important, because the advice many dog owners get, or at least the information they get from vets, is, stay away from home cooked diets. They're really difficult to do. They're hard to balance, but it's just utter nonsense, really.
Right.
And that's information that they pass on via the big pet food companies who teach their nutrition courses at veterinary college.
Cam, I've completely fallen for this hook, line and sinker, and I've tried many different, I thought were quite good ones, because I was looking at, meat ratio and all this kind of stuff. But my dog is a miniature Dachshund, and she has not really got along with any of them. She might eat it at first, and then it's a real hassle to get her to eat the rest. I have to mix in other foods anyway, and I do give her boiled chicken. But I tried one of your recipes yesterday, probably the easiest one that you have, which is the
good start
chicken jerky. And I just, you just really cook the chicken and then you give it to the dog. It's nice and crunchy. And she absolutely loved it. So I am definitely going to be looking at your recipes. And the other thing I was going to ask you was, so she's had a little bit of an appetite for eating dog poo on her walks. And I looked into that, and apparently it's a certain enzyme that they're missing or something like that. And if you gave them pineapple, that would kind of satiate that. But I tried that and it didn't really work either. What do you think is going on for Juniper that she would want to do that on a walk?
Well, again, you have to kind of look at the dog's previous lifestyle when these issues were a problem and try and identify a potential cause of why a dog would be like going out of their way to eat something that, I mean, you think it's disgusting. It isn't a too abnormal behavior for dogs to take part in. Having said that, most of the time it's generally driven by a dog being on a low quality, less nutrient dense diet. So what you'll see with these, like I said earlier, with the dry foods, they're cooked to such high temperatures. How many of those nutrients still exist? And the answer is not that many. So yeah, it's just a classic behavior of a dog that is searching more than they should for foods and nourishment. And so, yeah, just moving her to a fresh food diet is going to make quite a big difference. But as well, it can be a learned behavior that you'll need to try and get
it's not all the time. She's not learned that from us. But I really am interested in giving her, like, I'm quite happy to cook for her, probably not to the extent of Fiona Allen, but I am a bit nervous to give her completely raw, because I saw one of your recipes which was completely raw. It looked amazing, but can I cook it a little bit and then give it to her?
Yeah, you can. No animals can cook, just so you know. So it's not a necessity. You know, like you said, your dog's out there eating poo. A bit of raw chicken isn't going to be a huge game changer.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, good point there.
Yeah. So, look, it's completely up to you. If it makes you feel more comfortable, absolutely go for it.
Well, I'm thinking, will it upset her stomach to go straight into the raw? I mean, I did start off with raw food with her, which was frozen and in the freezer.
Yeah.
But then she wouldn't eat it, so it was just getting wasted.
You need to thaw it. That's the trick.
Oh, she was chewing on it for a while.
Or it helps you. You also need to remember you've got a small dog, and they should only be fed one meal a day at the end of the day.
Right.
And if you can implement that feeding routine, they're going to be hungrier for when they're more likely to eat it. If she had any issues on a particular raw food in the past, most of the time that's due to a food intolerance, so a reduced ability to digest a particular meat or protein source, and just avoiding that particular protein. So like some dogs aren't good on chicken, others are good on beef. Some can't eat turkey, others can eat lamb. And you just need to work out which ones your dog's good on and choose those.
Okay.
Right.
Brilliant.
And am I right in thinking that any kind of diet change needs to be done gradually? You can't just suddenly change the meal. That can upset their stomach. Is that right?
Yeah, over a few days.
Yes, a few days. Yeah,
few days. Okay. Just don't give them a completely new meal.
Yes, right. Thank you very much. Well, to chuck another one at you, I've got a Cockapoo, Mildred, and she's been very good recently. But she has a sensitive stomach. Apparently, when I saw the vet, the vet has said that this is quite commonplace for Cockapoos for whatever reason. They have quite sensitive stomachs, and Mildred does love human food when she can get it. Do you have any? Is there a kind of preferred diet that you think a Cockapoo in particular should be on?
I mean, Cockapoos are known as slightly more anxious dogs. And
yes, you'd be right.
So cortisol release impacts digestive efficiency or capability. Right. So I would probably recommend a fresh food diet, slightly lower in fat. So choosing the leaner proteins.
Right.
And again, just make sure those proteins that you choose work for her. Because of breeding practices being not the best, the breeders will feed the pregnant mother one particular food and the puppies the same type of food, and the protein will stay consistent. So they don't get that early exposure to variety, so that their gut either develops a good ability to break down these different foods, or they will develop an allergy. So it's much like pregnant women being told to stay away from peanuts. You're seeing a huge rise in peanut allergies.
Right.
So it's hugely common in dogs that they have these like intolerances and allergies, and you just need to work out the meats that work first by trialing just one particular meat for a week at a time, seeing how her stools respond. Are there any other symptoms of discomfort? If there are, avoid that meat, and then just choose a couple. You need a bit of variety. You can't just stick to one meat. So 2 to 3 meats that work for her. Don't feed her too often.
Yeah.
And that's the best way to do it.
Do you think one meal or 2 meals a day for a dog? Does it depend on size of dog or?
Yeah, it does depend on the size. You've got a Chihuahua, Jack. So
I do, yeah.
1 meal a day is plenty. Maybe a couple small treats here and there in the day is absolutely fine. Larger dogs tend to have that gene whereby they are always hungry. So from a quality of life perspective, I say feed them 2 meals a day. Try to do it within a window. So an intermittent fasting routine basically is the healthiest way to feed a dog. Food abundance is less natural for them than it is for us. So giving their digestive system enough time where it's not in a state of digestion is important for their immune system, the health of every cell in their body, good for their gut. So 1 for smaller dogs, and then 2 within a 6-hour window for the larger dogs.
Very interesting. We've been having an ongoing discussion about bones and how to go about giving your dog bones and what kind of bones are good for them and not good for them. We had a very interesting email from Gemma Butterworth. I don't want to put all this on Gemma because I think we're sort of on the same page. But basically, the rule is not cooked bones. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. The more you suck out the moisture, the more likely they are to splinter and less likely they are to be broken down by the stomach acid. So that moisture allows the acid to kind of get in and work to dissolve the large parts of calcium and bone.
So even a raw chicken bone is okay for a dog?
Yeah, it is. But again, you need to be careful with which meats your dog can eat.
Yes.
Because if you put a raw meat that a dog doesn't do well on into their stomach, they're more likely to suffer from the bacterial imbalance. So let's say there's a high level of bacteria on a raw food ingredient. If they're not okay on that particular meat, it will disrupt their gut microbiome. It will inflame, irritate it, cause an imbalance, and then they're going to be more susceptible to the bacteria that's on the raw food. So if it's a meat source that's consistent with what they're able to eat, it won't cause a disruption. And then you can just choose a raw bone, and it won't cause an issue. You do need to be a bit careful with the size of the bone that you pick for the dog.
Yeah.
There are different types of bones, edible bones and gnawing bones. Gnawing bones are just the big ones, which dogs just gnaw on. They can't properly eat. Those can be an issue for larger dogs, because some Labradors will just try and eat the whole thing. So you just need to watch them. And then smaller dogs, you want to go for like non-weight bearing bones if you want your dog to eat the whole thing. So neck, wings, feet.
Okay. Is that information in your ebook as well, Cam? Is it?
Yeah.
It's all there. What sort of dog owner are you? Because I mean, you're clearly an expert on nutrition.
I only have a family dog at the moment, and actually recently she's kind of been more my dog than the family's. My mum broke her neck in a ski accident.
Oh my God!
She's fine.
Sorry.
Good.
She's made an absolute remarkable recovery.
Yes.
Good.
But I've been taking care of Isla. She's a Tibetan Terrier.
Yes.
Which basically means she's obstinate. She doesn't want to please, and she's kind of interested in me sometimes. So she's a very unique dog. I've looked after hundreds of dogs through the dog running and daycare I had.
Yeah.
She is by far the weirdest dog I've ever met. And I think, what are the chances of that? So as a dog owner, but you've got to remember, I basically share this dog with my mother, so there's only so much I can do before then she goes back to my mum's and unlearns all of the structure I've tried to implement in this dog's life. But I like running with dogs, since having the dog running.
Cam, with the running with dogs, so you chose running over walking. Was that just for yourself to keep fit, or do you really, is there a lot to get from dogs running?
Yeah, there's a huge amount to get from dogs running. If you think about the amount of working dog breeds that are basically stuck in London, and you take them for a 1 hour stroll and maybe a half an hour stroll.
Yes,
these dogs are really supposed to be working, like properly exercising for hours.
Okay.
So when you implement a natural lifestyle for the appropriate species, for the appropriate breed, everything comes together. So they're just more calm, they're more trainable, they're happier dogs.
Yeah.
So running is a great thing to do. You've in these temperatures, or what it's been like in the last few weeks, not a great thing to do.
No.
Sure.
So yeah, you just understand your breed, how much hair they've basically got, how old are they. But most dogs can run further than their owner, depending on their age.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's the Tibetan Terrier called?
Isla.
So when Isla is with you, does she have the run of the house?
She, kind of does. I have certain rules, like she's not allowed into the kitchen.
Oh,
okay.
Tell us about that. Why is that?
That's a first. I think that's a first on Oh My Dog.
Yeah, because I myself am quite anal about food, just due to the job. Like I've spent my life reading papers, and I'm kind of stuck in this vacuum of like, what is really good nutrition science. I just like to separate the dog from like the cooking area, but she doesn't listen at all. So
okay.
So it's just, I try, she doesn't listen, what to do.
Because we had Tash on last week talking about probiotics, I wanted to ask you about supplements. Is it something that we should be including in our dog's diet anyway, not just when they're poorly?
Yeah, I think so. Like I've done a load of research on probiotics and gut health because I've developed my own one. And it's something I recommend for not just dog owners that their dog has a gut issue. Obviously with any health issue, literally every health issue, it indicates a disruption within the gut microbiome. So restoring a natural balance and homeostasis within the gut is probably the first thing a dog owner should try to do. Different probiotics are effective in different ways. So it's tricky finding one that you can trust. In the pet supplement industry, it's like the Wild West, much like the dog food industry. So especially if a dog has a digestive issue, you want to use probiotic, but any other health issue, you also want to use a probiotic. For healthy dogs, I recommend cycling a probiotic. So you would use it, let's say, for 2 months, and then the dog will be off it for a few months, and then they'll be on it for a few months, and off it for a few months. Because the amount that dogs are exposed to, which are seen as stressors on the gut microbiome, things that could cause disruption, is enormous in modern society. And that could come from the tennis ball in their mouth. It could come from the cleaning products that you use on your floor. It could come from the plastic that they've been chewing on. There are so many things that in modern life cause that stress and that imbalance to start to grow. And so using natural products, fresh foods, supplementary probiotics like the one I make, or natural probiotics like a bit of kefir or some sauerkraut, which isn't too high in salt, can be really good, is recommended, basically.
Great.
We always finish with this same question, and I think I know the answer in your case. We always guess as well. We always try and have a guess. Do you let your dog, do you let Isla kiss you on the mouth?
No. I'm going to say no.
No.
No, that's a no.
Yes,
Shaking his head.
Cam is shaking his head. That's clearly a no.
I thought that might be the case.
To be honest, she doesn't want to that much either.
Okay.
So she'll kind of lick at me, but she'll never try and give me a kiss as such, which reminds me of my teenage years, the rejection.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry to bring back.
That belongs to a whole other podcast, I think.
Yeah.
Cam Wimble's teenage years. We'll get into that another time.
Thank you so much, Cam. It's been thoroughly interesting, really fantastic to talk to you.
Pleasure.
And so you've got your Instagram handle at @the_dog_nutritionist, and of course you said your website, your ebook is on your website, which
thedognutritionist.com.
Okay.
We'll put all the links on ours, won't we, Sara? So
we will,
people can look it up. I'm certainly going to. I want to see the rest of it.
Yeah. Juniper's getting a new diet from now on.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I am.
Let me know how it goes. If you have any issues, just email me. I'll point you in the right direction.
That's
so
Thank you, Cam.
Thank you,
Thank
Cam.
you so much.
Great to meet you, and hopefully see you again.
Take care.
It's been a pleasure. Take care.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Absolutely fantastic.
Fantastic.
Brilliant.
Very, very interesting guest to have, someone who specialises in our dog's food. And it's a thing, really, we do it every day. And perhaps I'm certainly guilty of it. I don't really give much thought. I just think, well, what's convenient? And of course, when you do start thinking about it, you think, well, it's effectively, if you're giving them the same thing every day, A, that's pretty boring, and B, unlikely to be nutritionally beneficial.
Yes.
Because it can only have so much in it, no matter which variety of food you get.
And the thing I got most from it is I need to change my diet.
I've told you. It's, I can't bear to see you eating this pedigree chum all the time. You need other stuff as well.
You're on the road a lot.
Yeah, I am.
How do you manage?
I survive by going to motorway service stations. I look out for the ones with Waitrose and Marks and Spencers usually, and I buy salads and all kinds of stuff in there.
Yeah.
And then if I've started to feel sorry for myself, I might get a Scotch egg, and then it's pathetic, isn't it? It's so dismal. And the last few days, as I've been up north, and there was fewer of them. I was in Marks and Spencers I can't remember which town it was actually, but I went in there. And the person in front of me was using the till before me, and as the total came up, he said, "Bloody how much?" So now I'm sure Marks and Spencers is actually called that up north. They just call it. I'm off to bloody how much. It's a great name for it. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I do, and I just go to my hotel room. Do you know what? Here's something I'm going to let you know. This is a secret, and I'll show you because I've got this. This is my survival kit when I'm on tour. It's right there, and in it,
it's a kind of wallet we're looking at, kind of old CD wallet.
Yeah, it's got battery chargers and all that sort of stuff. But in it,
wow.
All right. I've just dangled a set of knives and forks, camping knife and fork. That's what I do, because otherwise, you're going to be ordering takeaways everywhere.
Yes.
Very good.
So
well done. That's how many years or even decades did it take you to get to cutlery on the road, prepared cutlery?
I've been doing it for a few tours now. I've been doing it for a few tours. So it just means that you can be independent of all the other stuff, and you can.
So when you say a few tours, this could literally mean that it took you 30 years.
Well. But honestly, it's only probably in the last 10, 20 years where you've had those facilities at service stations.
Yes, that's true.
Before that, they were just greasy spoon type places where you go and get all they did was like hot breakfast all day long.
Yes.
No wonder you were smashing up bags of crisps and leaving them for the next person to buy.
I've done that a few times. Yeah. Oh, did I say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I caught you.
Yeah.
I caught you once coming back from. We were coming back from Latitude Festival, and I saw you with a bag of crisps in your hand. And then when we got back in the car and you asked me what I'd got, I told you. And then I asked you what you had got, but the crisps were gone. And I said, "Oh, did you change your mind with the crisps?" And you said, "Oh, no, I just crushed them and put them back. It's something I like to do." On his own, ladies and gentlemen. Not for anyone else's entertainment. If I hadn't asked, that wouldn't have come up. That was just Jack entertaining Jack to get himself through the day so that some poor child would open their cheese and onion pack of
don't
crisps
bring the
to
kids
find
into
just
it.
crumbs and crying and saying to Mummy, "Look, I've only got bits of crisps." And Jack just with a big smile on his face driving home. Yeah, no, I've quit McDonald's. I've not had a McDonald's since October.
I can't even remember the last time I had a McDonald's. It's all fast food. I just avoid it.
Yes,
it's not like I'm slim or look great, but I know internally what it does to you.
I just got to tell you, when we saw Jane at Goodwoof, I was sat with Jane and I was telling her about my new exercise regime. We were talking about this. And then I said, because I found, Jack's really inspiring because, he's really quite fit. He does cycling and he swims. And she went, he's not fit.
That is, I'll have to have a word with her about that. She's going to have to...
positive bit. No, you're looking very well. So yes, there we go. That's a wonderful, wonderful episode. Fantastic talking to Can. And thank you for listening. Thank you, as always. Thank you for listening. We hope you're enjoying taking a deep dive with us into our love of dogs.
Yeah, and please do go and subscribe to our YouTube channel at OMD Pod, and please get in touch by emailing us at hello@omdpod.com and find us on Instagram at OMDpod. You'll find loads of extra content and video there. And it's also, I'll just add that all the links for the things that we talked about today with Can, that's available. Which one will that be on, Sara? That specifically?
It'll be everywhere. I'll put it on the show notes and I'll put it on our Instagram too.
It'll be all over the place. So everyone's going to start cooking their own dog food now. Don't forget to give us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast to. You can finish this one off, Seann, because I burst into that paragraph thinking really it was Seann's turn. I looked up and I saw your little face, and it was like crumpled. Go on.
Let me say it.
You say it, Sara.
Go on.
And remember, a dog is for life, not just for podcasts.
Right, I've had enough of this. I'm starting a cat podcast. What is this?
Eventually starting to be pushed out. It started.
I feel like Steve Jobs in the 80s. I invented Apple and I'm getting kicked out. What's this? Unbelievable.
And then we'll have to pay for you to come back eventually. That's what will happen.